Let's get it. What's going on, beautiful people? I'm the Grandmaster, and I also go by D.Rey, bringing you guys the team builder for one of the biggest matchups of the season. Little happy dance where your SoCal Annihilation will take on pokeaimmd, the buddy Joey coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. If you're excited for this matchup, do me the massive favor and rage fist that thumbs up button. And if you're new, por favor, hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications, hit the bell button so you get notified every single time we post a new video. The small amount of time it takes for you to hit that like and sub button really truly does help me out a lot, so please just make sure you're subscribed. While you're at it, leave a comment down below. Today we're going to talk about what we're going to bring and why we're going to bring it, and the game will be tomorrow. A little bit of our thought process, kind of giving you a 4-1-1, what we're thinking when we were building the team, and go from there, man. It's gonna be a big matchup. I say it's a big matchup not only because, you know, it's Joey, the homie, but because we are on the outside looking in. I'll look at the standings are here. We're like right underneath that red line. We're one game away from hopping in, so we have to get this dub to really shake things up. If we lose, we still definitely have a chance, but to get this win here would be gargantuan. Gotta pull it together, gotta get this dub, gotta get into these playoffs. It's very, the whole league is just up in the air. These tickets to the playoffs are up for grabs. We gotta snag ours. Let's talk about it. If you're ready, pull up a chair, get your popcorn ready, and hit the lights. Okie dokie, gente hermosa. Let's get things on the way. Let's talk about this matchup. Up on screen here, the Los Angeles Lakers consist of Palafin, Iron Treads, Espathra, Meowscarada. He's got Sylveon, the Bull Tauros, the fire one. Dragology, almost I forgot his name for a sec. What's that other Pokemon called? Fucking Evolve Fluttermane, the Mischievous? No, not Mischievous. He hasn't brought it once, so like I kind of just discounted it. The evolved form of Mischievous, I forgot his name. Anyway, it's not coming. Ditto, Halucha, and the Knackle Stack. Big old Knackle Stack. A couple different things to note about this team is that he does have rapid spin in the form of Iron Treads. My mind is completely on this game right now. He has the Defog and the Halucha, which is actually kind of a nutty defogger, to be honest. He also has Spike Stack in the Meowscarada. He also has Rocks with the Iron Treads, and Rocks with the Knackle Stack, and Toxic Spikes with the Dragology. Big threats of this matchup, the things that we're afraid of the most, obviously, is the Espathra. His Espathra is his Terra Captain. He has Terra Psychic and Terra Fighting, so those are the only two Terra types that he can change into. Also, Palafin, the Dolphin, is so gross. That Pokemon hits like an absolute truck. It's so good, so good, especially since it's really gonna clean up this game. If I were to kind of guess the also another note is that the Sylveon is also incredibly annoying. The Sylveon being able to wish up his Pokemon and yawn stuff, force me to switch, is really going to be annoying. Big things is that our game plan is very specific. I feel like the game plan is going to work if we can execute the early game well. The rest of the game should go in our favor, but the only thing that would derail us is if we get chip on very important pieces. So it's a very strategic, almost chess game, this matchup. Everything has to go within our way. There's backup plans, but those backup plans are very tedious, and I'll explain more what I mean down the line. And a lot of it has to do with Sylveon, and Sylveon is the biggest part of that. So we'll see if we're able to kind of maneuver our way into a victory here. So first Pokemon we're going to be bringing is going to be, he's back, Chi-Yu. Chi-Yu is showing up. We have leftovers this matchup: Fire Blast, Dark Pulse, Psychic, and Substitute. Chi-Yu puts immense amount of pressure on Joey's team, and it is our main switch into Meowscarada. Being able to come in on Flower Tricks and only take about 23% is very, very nice. We're running a very bulky Chi-Yu. We have 120 in HP, 132 in defense, 236 in special attack, and 20 in speed, running the modest nature. It does have a base 100 speed stat total, but if you looked at Joey's team, his team goes very fast to very slow. It goes from Tauros at base 100 to Sylveon at base 60. So there's a massive speed gap. We're not gonna bother try to speed tie with the bull. I'd rather just go modest and run as much special attack as I can while still investing in our defense to not get to live things that we need to live. So we're not max special attack. We decided to invest the defenses to be able to come in and have Flower Trick after leftovers be a 5-hit KO, assuming that there are no hazards on the field. So we get multiple switch-ins to Meowscarada, and as he starts to pivot around to try to bring in switch-ins to Chi-Yu, we continue to get leftovers recovery. Excuse me, my voice is going away. We continue to get leftovers recovery so we can continue to switch in on Meowscarada. So every time the Meowscarada comes in, we're able to bring in Chi-Yu and put immense amount of offensive pressure. That's what the defense investment's for. So Chi-Yu just being able to click Fire Blast is fantastic. Those who don't get hit by Fire Blast get hit by Dark Pulse, like the Knuckle Stack. Knuckle Stack is what was brought for the Chi-Yu check, which is actually kind of doubled in to breed the Annihilape check in a way, because the Salt Cure move is very, very annoying to deal with, especially since we don't have Cobra Cloak, and it being able to set up iron defenses makes it very obnoxious to deal with because it boosts those body presses and it has recovered to keep itself healthy. So Knuckle Stack with Eviolite is actually really, really annoying, ironically enough. So if we play it correctly, if we can make some predictions, and if we can predict him bringing in Knuckle Stack, if he brings it on a Fire Blast and we click Dark Pulse, we literally can 2-hit KO the following turn. So the scenario would be if he does bring Knuckle Stack and then we get Chi-Yu in on Meowscarada, we're not gonna click Fire Blast, we're gonna click Dark Pulse. Even if he is a Dark type, there's zero reason why Joey should leave a Meowscarada in front of a Chi-Yu ever. Like, he has to be like next level big brain shit in order for that to happen. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click Dark Pulse, anticipating the Knuckle Stack to come in, and then get up out of there. It's gonna do like 40% or so, and that way the following subsequent turn where we can get Chi-Yu again on Meowscarada, once we click Dark Pulse, it is now a 2-hit KO even if we go Fire Blast into Dark Pulse. So we can definitely knock out that Knuckle Stack, so that's why we have to play very strategic against that Pokemon. Other switch-ins he can bring in for it is the Tauros, that's why we have Psychic. Psychic literally drops the bull. If Meowscarada is in and is still Dark type from the protein, if it still remains that, I may or may not click the button, but I may go big brain and click it anyway, even though it'll be ineffective if Joey decides to stay in on with Meowscarada. Depending on how the matchup goes, I may or may not take that risk, but if we can get that prediction correctly and grab the bull on the switch in, oh, chef's kiss. To knock out that Pokemon in one hit would be top tier. The only way that wouldn't get knocked out in one hit, if it's like Max Spadef with like an Assault Vest, which I don't think he comes. I think that Will-O-Wisp is really good in this matchup. I think that he has to bring Raging Bull, obviously, because he's very terrified of screens. Almost everybody is, but he's been hyping up screens like crazy. And my thought process behind Substitute is that Chi-Yu is forcing a lot of switch-ins to this matchup, so if I can avoid doing those scenarios that I did before and find it a little bit more safe to basically click Substitute on a switch, be behind a sub, get the leftovers recovery, and get 2 hits off, would be really, really nice. So Chi-Yu is just going to be more of like a breaker, situational, make Joey scramble a little bit and make him lose a little bit of resources, so that way the rest of the team can really take advantage of it. The next Pokemon we're bringing is QWILFISH, Redfish, Bluefish. QWILFISH come in Bluefish. We have Liquidation, Thunder Wave, Spikes, and Endure. Intimidate ability this week with a Rocky Helmet. We're not running Black Sludge, which makes me a little bit uncomfortable, but it's okay because I think that the chip damage from the Rocky Helmet is very, very vital. Liquidation's there for our stab to hit a lot of his team. Thunder Wave is to be able to paralyze stuff. Now, I do know that the Hawlucha does get limber, but if for whatever reason he's like an unburdened set, then Thunder Wave can still be really, really nice. But Thunder Wave is our main form to get everything at the base speed 100 and above down slow, which are the things that QWILFISH is going to switch in on anyway. Things like I said, Hawlucha, things like the Bull, things like Iron Treads, things like Meowscarada, all of them, and things like Palafin. Definitely, this is the #1 Palafin switch-in, but if all 5 of those Pokemon can come in and QWILFISH is allowed to switch in on them, and if I can get a Thunder Wave and slow them down for Chi-Yu to pick them off, chef's kiss. I want to bring them down slower, speed control, let Chi-Yu outspeed, and just destroy them, blow them asshole backwards. QWILFISH comes in on all those Pokemon, get an Intimidate off, drop their attack, and chew a hit, get some Rocky Helmet chip, because all of those Pokemon do contact damage except for Iron Treads is Earthquake. So we can, depending on the situation, may or may not want to do that, but if it's a switch in where I can switch out and safely not take an Earthquake and bring in another Pokemon to be immune to it, would be really nice. Endure is so that way we can get more Rocky Helmet chip and maybe hold on to the Intimidate for later on in the matchup. If there's no hazards up, if I can Endure, get a Rocky Helmet chip, switch out, keep QWILFISH as either a sack or to be able to come in and use the Intimidate ability, because Intimidate is such a good ability. My personal opinion, like top 3 ability in the entire game. Being able to drop attack just by merely coming in is fantastic. Spikes is going to be huge. I can't tell you, I think those 3 or 4 matchups in mocks where the difference of the game of me winning we did so many mocks. The difference of me winning those games was like less than 7%. And if I had gotten spikes up, easy dub. So I have to prioritize spikes. That little chip damage of him coming in is going to be gargantuous. So if I can find an opportunity to click spikes, even if I have to risk my QWILFISH, I have to take it. I know that he can safely bring in Iron Treads Rapid Spin, but we do have something in the back to be able to stop that. Probably already know what that is, but that one spike is going to be very big in this matchup. We're basically max defense to be able to come in and chew all those hits on those 5 Pokemon that I told you about. So QWILFISH is a very important game Pokemon in this matchup. Next up we have is EELEKTROSS to pair off. So we have 3 fish come in this matchup. EELEKTROSS, aka Rick Tross, is showing up. We have Leftovers with the Levitate ability. This is our main switch in and our main form of taking care of Iron Treads. EELEKTROSS' main job is to ensure that Iron Treads does not beat us. EELEKTROSS is really only here for that. We can still chew hits from the Palafin and get off a discharge, but as long as Iron Treads is alive, EELEKTROSS needs to stay healthy. Discharge, Flamethrower, Dragon Tail, U-turn. So this moveset is very important. U-turn is to ensure that we can always get some pivot momentum even if he decides to block us. I was gonna run Rapid Spin because if he blocks us, we leave him with Iron Treads in the first place, so that way we can just Flamethrower it, which is really nice. But U-turn is there. So I wanted to run Volt Switch because it's stab, and also it would stop us from switching in front of Iron Treads, thus doing EELEKTROSS' job in the first place, because I want to get EELEKTROSS in on Iron Treads. But the fact that U-turn does 4 times super effective damage onto Meowscarada is so nice. If for whatever reason he thinks that he can switch in Meowscarada on a discharge and risk a para, then we can at least get 4 times super effective damage and a very powerful U-turn and really almost knock out that Pokemon, because when it comes in, it's Grass Dark. So if I'm able to get that off, I think that that's incredibly valuable over Volt Switch. Hopefully that doesn't come back and bite us in the butt, but that damage is so good. So good. 248 in HP, 120 in defense, 132 in speed def. The rest trickled in attack. We're running the relaxed nature to be able to be under speed stuff and still get that momentum, and that we're able to be mixed attacking to get as much damage as possible. Dragon Tail is there for a couple reasons. If the Iron Treads comes that we saw in mock, shout out to POOKIETHEGOD, he brought a Akaberry Iron Defense body press set, which in paper looks really good against my team. So I definitely do think that he does bring an Iron Defense variant. So if that's the case, I can Dragon Tail him out and he loses his boost. If in the event he's a booster energy and he burns it and then I get the Dragon Tail off, he just lost his booster energy, which is even better. If I also live a +1 jet punch from I think 70% or so, so if I can get a Dragon Tail off on the Palafin, that would be fantastic. But probably will end up just clicking discharge because I think I find that a little bit more valuable to get that damage and the possible para chance, but it's there just in case. I also am able to live a hit from the Espathra, but I'll tell you a little bit more about my plan for Espathra. So Dragon Tail still works for it, but nonetheless it's a thing. Also, Dragon Tail works really well against Hawlucha. If Joey thinks he can get spicy and starts setting up swords dances in front of it because he's limber and he knows that he's not going to get parried, at least I can Dragon Tail him out, so that way I can find a little bit of a better opportunity to take that Pokemon down later on. Again, discharge may be really nice for the damage, but if it ends up being a bulky Hawlucha, he can just roost off that damage. So I can just Dragon Tail him out and figure that out later, basically is what I'm trying to get at. EELEKTROSS is here to soak up hits and really make sure that some of these threats don't run away with the game. Also, Dragon Tail is really nice for the Drogology because it's resistant to both discharge and flamethrower. Or I can just U-turn out on it, but that's really nice, just in case. And if the Knuckle stack ends up trying to set up iron defenses and it gets a problem, that's also something we can do. Calm Mind on the Sylveon. Dragon Tail just works really well. But anyways, Dragon Tail won't work on Sylveon, but what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of setup on this team, including like the bulk up Tauros. So being able to just phase out his mons, I think, are super valuable here in this matchup. So now here we go. We have Annihilape. Uber on Uber action. I got toasted in a mock from lead Espathra, and I thought to myself, damn, like this is gonna form the entire matchup. So here's what I was talking about. This scenario is how we were gonna execute our game plan. Here's the 4-1-1. Espathra leading this matchup is completely possible, 85% of the chance, the time. If he leads Espathra, I lose so many resources to where I just cannot recover after Palafin comes in, and he's either banded or bulk up, and he just cleans the entire matchup. So I have to sacrifice Annihilape and lead Annihilape always if I see Espathra, and he should always come. Annihilape is basically, I'm putting Baby Boy up there to ensure that the rest of the matchup at least gives us a chance to win this game, because Espathra's Lumina Crash is so powerful, being able to drop an automatic -2 on Spadef, that I literally had to go max on Annihilape. Annihilape is going in there to give us an opportunity to still play in this game after Espathra has ripped apart the team. So Annihilape, if I see Espathra, I will always lead Annihilape. We have leftovers with the Defiant ability to be able to take advantage of those Lumina crashes. We're running Terra Ghost this matchup because Terra Water really doesn't net us out very much. And also, in a couple mocks, I was Terra Water, but to get a secondary defense against Palafin. But Terra Ghost was really nice because it allows us to remove the fighting typing to make sure that we're not effective against the Lumina Crash, because Lumina Crash is a psychic type move. So I removed that weakness, which is really nice, and it also allows us to always come in on Iron Treads when he wants to rapid spin, to be able to keep that spike up that was so valuable in some of those mocks. We have Rage Fist, Drain Punch, Bulk Up, Encore. Very, very important that Encore is able to just lock him in on some non-attacking moves, especially if the Espathra wants to start setting up Calm Minds. If I can lock him into Calm Mind, I can just Rage Fist him until he dies. We have 116 HP, 80 in defense, and then the rest in Spadef running the Careful Nature. This set on Terra Ghost, I take like 20% from the first Lumina Crash, and at -2, I still live another Lumina Crash, which means that under 2 Rage Fists, here's what's gonna happen. We go Annihilape, Espathra, if he stays in, which means that it'll justify what our thought process was, that he just wants to cripple the team, and he's going to sacrifice his Espathra to get rid of Annihilape, or to try to ensure that he's able to remove as many of my resources from the very beginning of the game. Here's the scenario that we thought in our head, is that we go Annihilape, we go Espathra. I Terra Ghost, he Terra Fightings, right? If he goes for Lumina Crash, I lose my fighting type, I can take it. I take like 17% or 20% from the first Lumina Crash, and because of Lumina Crash secondary ability to drop down special attack, it'll activate my Defiant. He is faster from the rip, which means that Lumina Crash will give damage to Annihilape. It'll boost Rage Fist to base 100 power. So the first time that I click a Terra Ghost Rage Fist at +2 with the base 100 Rage Fist, it will knock it out off rip. Even though it lost its psychic typing, it will die on the very first, because from that turn 1, Annihilape will not only go to +2 attack, it'll also get 100 base power on Rage Fist, and it kills every variant of Espathra. If in the case he is Focus Sash, which he should be, then at that point we live another Lumina Crash, and if he clicks it for whatever reason, that means that Annihilape, basically we're gonna rinse and repeat. Annihilape takes another Lumina Crash. Yes, Annihilape is gonna be a little bit weaker, but here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go down to, I believe, from 86% or so, and it'll drop us down to around 47-ish%. I will click Drain Punch. Even though I'm only gonna get 1 HP back from the Focus Sash, it covers us in case he wants to switch so we can gain health back. At that point, Annihilape's Rage Fist will be at base 150, and also we will be at +4 attack. So if he switches, then we'll be at +2 with 100 base power Rage Fist and get some Drain Punch health back, or eliminate the Espathra and Annihilape still able to get some health back from 2 rounds of leftovers. So in theory, we're able to get rid of the Espathra if it's Focus Sash with Annihilape still at like 47-ish, 50%. With another round of leftovers at +2 attack and base 100 Rage Fist. Or if it dies at that point, if it dies at that point, it'll be at +4 attack, 150 Rage Fist at 47%. If he decides to switch, we'll be at like 80%, +2 attack, 100 Rage Fist with 2 rounds of leftovers, almost very, very healthy. So Annihilape will win that exchange. We're going to sacrifice Annihilape even though he was very good in this matchup. Bulk up sets look incredible. We still have that option in case we're able to net out in the positive, but that's the idea. Encore is there in case homeboy just clicks. Like, I'm always going to click Rage Fist first, always. But on turn 1, if homeboy Calm Minds, not today, sir. I'm going to click Encore because he has to get the +2 to really make that much sense. So I got a phone call, but that's the general scenario that we're gonna go with. Annihilape is really gonna ensure that we don't lose assets to Espathra, and if we can still keep Annihilape, that'd be great. That'd be great. So that's the general idea that I'm thinking, and you guys will get a great setting, right? We have Annihilape versus Espathra, one-on-one matchup from the very beginning. So we'll see how that goes. I'm very excited to see how that happens. Annihilape, I will draft Annihilape every single chance I get. I love this Pokemon. Not only is it my favorite Pokemon of all time, I love how good it is on paper always. I will, if you allow me to draft Annihilape, if I am in a league with you and it is there, I will always draft it. I love this Pokemon so much. But I think that, oh, there's one more. DONPHAN. So we have Earthquake, Knockoff, Ice Shard, and Rapid Spin. Sturdy ability, Heavy Duty Boots. Yes, this is max attack. This is here. So the idea is to, here's the game plan, is we want to get everything in range and knock him out so Palafin doesn't run away with the game. So we have this Pokemon and another. There's actually 2 more Pokemon. DONPHAN has Ice Shard and Earthquake. If we get in on Palafin, we have Sturdy plus Heavy Duty Boots, so we can always take 1. If he Wave Crashes and we go Earthquake, Wave Crash damage into Earthquake plus Excel Rock from Lycanroc, you're about to see Lycanroc come up, will always knock out any variant of Palafin. So Earthquake, Wave Crash damage, recoil, and then I get an Ice Shard. All that chip plus Excel Rock will always kill because we are going to be running Life Orb. So this specific scenario is going to be very tough to pull off, but it's going to give us the best avenue to win in the end game. Rapid Spin is there to get a speed boost. We have enough speed at +1 to be able to outspeed a I think a Sylveon, which is really nice. This person's really trying to give me a call. So DONPHAN's here to just ensure that I have my full speeds, my full HP Sturdy with my Palafin. With his Palafin, basically is what I'm trying to do. Ice Shard's also fantastic for a Hawlucha that gets out of hand, as well as a Meowscarada that still has the grass typing. Knockoff is very fantastic to be able to get rid of items in case that scenario kind of goes out the door. So that's really nice. And so just Knockoff is just also fantastic in case he brings the Levitating Ghost. I forgot the name of that Pokemon. It deals super effective damage and knocks it out. Knockoff into Ice Shard always kills it. Mischievous. Is Mischievous? No, it's not Mischievous. It's the evolved form of Mischievous. I don't remember its name. But it's levitating, so it's immune to Earthquake. So Knockoff plus Ice Shard always kills it, which is really nice. So that's DONPHAN for you. Last up we have is Lycanroc. Lycanroc is very important for the end game. We're running Life Orb, like I said. Tough Claws is going to boost that Excel Rock. Plus Stone Edge, Close Combat, and Psychic Fangs. All of them make contact, but Stone Edge doesn't, but it is very powerful and stab. We have 252 in attack, 224 in speed, and then the rest in HP. This is to ensure we always outspeed Iron Treads by 1 point. Excel Rock is very important in the end game to be able to pick off the rest of his team. It literally knocks Hawlucha's ass backwards and knocks Meowscarada's ass backwards. And being able to click the combination of Close Combat, Stone Edge, and Psychic Fangs is fantastic. We have the Bull that just drops to Psychic Fangs. Stone Edge is very nice against his team. Hopefully I don't have to risk that, but it's the thing. Close Combat's also very nice because it is Tough Claws boosted. It's the Lycanroc. It literally is there to pick off the rest of the matchup. And I think I have to keep it around for Excel Rock at the end game because I want to chip stuff down with not only QWILFISH and DONPHAN and Annihilape if I can still get that health back. But that's the thought process behind this matchup. That's what we got going on. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. And with that being said, I'm just going to get out of here because this video has gone a little bit longer than I wanted to. Hope you guys are excited for the matchup. Tomorrow's a very big game. We gotta throw down, man. I gotta get in the playoffs. We're in the outside looking in by one matchup, man. We gotta get in. We got 1, 2, 3 games to go. Anything can happen. I hope you guys are excited for the season. I hope you guys are excited to see how things are gonna fold out. I'm hyped, man. It's been an incredible BBR season. Thank you guys so much for your support. With that being said, I'm gonna get the heck up out of here. Have a great rest of your day, and above all else, be nice. Peace.